Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to our Metallica discography. So, for the last 5 days, we have taken the unenviable task, or possibly enviable, depends how you want to perceive it, of going through every single Metallica song. So we're going to be doing this in May, and then we'll pick this up again in October. And why are we doing this, you may be asking? Well, on Christmas Day of this year, I plan on putting a little bow on our time with Metallica by doing every single Metallica song ranked from worst to best. I think that's the most conclusive way we can end our time with Metallica on the absolute best note possible. And I must say, we are now coming to the end of our time with Kill 'Em All. This was when Metallica, well, they were all still technically teenagers. And this is also when Dave's very brief tenure with Metallica, it must be said, kind of also came to a screeching halt. But not without a lot of his influences remaining with Metallica. And there is quite a few instances, I must admit, where we've gone through Kill 'Em All, where, to be honest, there are a lot of things that straight up would continue onwards in Megadeth's portfolio, but it must be said, this is the starting blocks, if you will, and as a result, it made categorizing a lot of songs on Kill 'Em All particularly easy. 1 second. Hello. Sorry. Yeah, somebody just tried to call me and
Not be connected. Sorry, your call.
Call cannot be connected, and it claims to have been from who's calling me from Arizona, and they wanted from Phoenix, and they want to know if I was available, but and also I answered the thing, and they almost immediately hung. I don't get it. Anyway, with that being said. Weird people. We now come up to the final song on Kill 'Em All, and I think wasn't it true that this is the song that, to my knowledge, it's something about Dave's fascination with like two people having sex in a car. I can't quite remember if it's specifically on this or it might be somewhere else, but we'll get to that when we do Megadeth's discography, and we'll take it from there. But immediately, like right now, we have a mission to complete in the form of Metal Militia. So let's go. Okay, let's put a bow on this. Hello?
Hello, James.
Yes, hello?
Hi, sir. My name is Annika. I'm calling you from United States Immigration Services. How are you?
If this is about my immigration, like that's some sort of form I was filling out, I must be honest, I think I might have possibly have had a little bit of a change of mind due to slightly unforeseen circumstances. So, I think I'll have to, like...
So you're not interested anymore in this?
I'll possibly have to, like, pick this up at some other date, so I'll have to, like, sit and think about this sort of thing.
Alright, you have a good day then.
Yeah, US Immigration Services, yeah, right. This is, like, the second call I've had in so many weeks. First it was from Miami in Florida, now it claims to be from Phoenix, Arizona, so you know what? Yeah, I'll be dealing with that. I'll be dealing with them sooner or later. Sonica. And she didn't exactly sound very professional, did she? And yes, if you are wondering, I did deliberately pause this specifically to highlight that, because guess what? Who looks stupid now? I do quite like the unhinged stomping, that happened during the end. I suppose that gives more credence to the idea of this actually being an army, almost an army of the living dead, coming to reek the world of all this jibber jabber and nonsense, and all of a sudden we are now marching towards becoming an army of destruction in the name of metal. So I quite appreciate the metaphor for what it's worth. However, yeah, there is a little bit of a part of me thinks that it's maybe not like the best note to sort of like end Kill 'Em All on, because I felt... See, if Seek and Destroy was the final song on the album, it'd probably be a better way to end it. But I think, yeah, sadly, Metal Militia might... I think sadly has a little bit of the short straw in terms of being probably the worst song on the album. At least until such time as we can shuffle things around, and there will be a few instances where, guess what, we will... Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to move Metal Militia like maybe one down again, because I feel like... Yeah, okay, so to my knowledge, Metal Militia is better than The God That Failed, but I think it's behind The Memory Remains. And... yeah, and to be honest, maybe as we go through the rest of the albums, Metal Militia might move down a little bit more, depending on maybe certain other criteria. But insofar as we're concerned, I think that's about it. So, with the whole of Kill 'Em All evaluated, let me just explain to you sort of like where all the songs fit on this list so far. In order, The Four Horsemen, Hit the Lights, Phantom Lord, Seek and Destroy, No Remorse, Whiplash, Motor Breath, Jump in the Fire, Pulling Teeth, and Metal Militia. So, in terms of where things are at right now, is there any songs I want to move further down? Are there any songs I want to like move a little bit further up? I think that's good for the moment. I think I'm pretty much all right with what do we have so far. And Metal Militia being like the worst song on the album, I think is sort of, well, it's less the worst song and more it kind of has the wooden spoon insofar as, well, all the other songs are concerned, because there is a lot to like about the rest of the songs. I think Metal Militia is the one that I feel like there were things I liked about it, but there were other things I liked more, if that makes sense. Now, I'm also still looking at the top, where I think the two best songs on this are The Four Horsemen and Hit the Lights, and there is still... Hit the Lights is the thing that still confuses me as to whether or not I should rate that lower. But there's also a part of me that thinks that The Four Horsemen should probably go a little bit low. Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll move Hit the Lights like 2 spots down. So I think I think Hit the Lights is better than Sleepwalking My Life Away, but I also think it's behind The Call of Cthulhu. And The Four Horsemen, I'm actually going to... Actually, this is going to be a very... Okay, this one might cause a few arguments, I reckon, but I'll take that fight when it comes. So I think I'm going to move The Four Horsemen a few steps down. So I think The Four Horsemen is better than Blackened, but I think it's behind, and wait till you hear this, I think The Four Horsemen is behind My Apocalypse. And... oh dear. So, The Four Horsemen goes from being like number 11, and now it's like moved down to like number 19. And 19th place still seems quite low for what is the best song on Kill 'Em All. Oh jeez. Deary me. Because it's not just My Apocalypse, but it's everything else that comes afterwards. And to be honest, considering that probably on average. I mean, okay, so I think that's what's good. I think we can just about leave it there for Kill 'Em All. So, final thoughts on Kill 'Em All before we do Part Company. For Metallica's first album, it's sort of almost revolutionized, or sort of almost like the thrash metal genre, one that really hadn't existed. I'm sure there must have been bands of some description before Metallica. However, Metallica is the one that not only set it in stone, but it's the one that Moses carried down from the mountains. This is what is almost like the blueprint for thrash metal to come, and for many other such bands like Megadeth and Megadeth, Overkill, and even Power Trip, even modern day equivalents, that they are still using things like Kill 'Em All as the blueprint. And there you may argue that things like Metal Militia actually do accomplish something, because it's still it's fondly remembered by those who are fans of it, and there are things to take away from it, which may make my placement for it a little bit strange, but at the same time, this is my list, so remember, you can't get mad at me because it's completely subjective. And I think that's about that. But if you thought Kill 'Em All presented some interesting points of discussion in terms of rankings, we now have to go towards what is probably the best Metallica song, or well, the best Metallica songs on average, because Ride the Lightning is on average, I would say, the best Metallica album. But where would like the best song? I mean, I know immediately what the worst song on Ride the Lightning is, but what exactly is the best one? Well, we'll have to wait and see, shan't we? In the meantime, I'll see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.